Of course we do. That's what ag is about, is challenge. So how do you overcome those challenges? Well, how do you serve that customer as best you can? Well, I think you start by packing parachutes. Let me explain that. I sat down in a restaurant in Kansas City not so long ago. About 2 tables over, a guy kept looking at me, and I didn't recognize this gent. He stood up. This guy walked over to my table. He pointed at me and he said, "You're Captain Plumb." I looked up and I said, "Yes, sir, I'm Captain Plumb." "You're that guy. You flew jet fighters in Vietnam," he said. "Part of that Top Gun outfit in Miramar, California. You were shot down off the aircraft carrier Kitty Hawk. You parachuted into enemy hands. You spent 6 years as a prisoner of war." Somewhat dumbfounded, I looked up at this guy and I said, "How in the world did you know all that?" He finally broke into a smile and he said, "Because I packed your parachute." Tell you this, for this guy that runs around the country making speeches, suddenly I was speechless. The best I could do was stagger to my feet, reach out a very grateful hand of thanks. He came up with just the proper words. The guy grabbed my hand, he pumped my arm, and he said, "I guess it worked." I said, "Indeed it did, my friend, and I must tell you, I've said a lot of prayers of thanks for your nimble fingers, but I had no idea I'd ever had the opportunity of expressing my gratitude in person." He said, "Were all the panels there?" I said, "No, I've got to be honest with you, they weren't. Of the 18 panels I was supposed to have in that parachute, had only 15 good ones. 3 of the panels were torn. But it wasn't your fault, it was mine. I ejected from that F-4 Phantom jet at 600 knots, close to the ground. I was well outside the envelope of that parachute. You did your job, I didn't do mine." I said, "But let me ask you a question. Do you keep track of all the parachutes you pack? Do you know of all the lives you've saved?" I said, "No." Now, this is the most important part of the conversation that night. Maybe the most important thing I say to you this morning. I think it deals directly with Beck's philosophy of attitude, action. I think it deals directly with your core values of teamwork and integrity and innovation, adaptability, commitment, passion. Here's what he said. "No, I don't keep track of all the parachutes I pack. It's enough gratification for me just to know that I've served." Here's a sailor well below the waterline of this big aircraft carrier, okay? His job is to stand at a long wooden table and he weaves the shrouds and he folds the silk panels of these parachutes. And he passes them along one after another, just doing his job 10, 12, 14 hours a day. While the Top Gun zooms around the sky at the speed of sound. And I couldn't have cared less about the guy down there in the hole. Until one day my parachute came on. And he packed mine up for me. Hey gang, at the end of the day, isn't that what this business is about? Is packing parachutes, helping that farmer be the best he can be, helping the kids be the best they can be, helping the spouses with their journey. That's what this is all about, see, is packing parachutes. So the question becomes, how's your parachute packing coming along? Who is it that looks to you for strength in time of need? Maybe more importantly, how's your parachute packed? Do you have what it takes to overcome the challenges of life?